Hey, well, we're here again. I mean, I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. No one wants to be here. But Star Wars decides they need to release a new show because if they don't release a show, then why'd they spend the billions of dollars on the Star Wars property? They're certainly not going to make toys and games of the original series anymore. So we gotta make something new to justify this purchase. And the latest thing is The Acolyte, which is quite frankly fan fiction. Legitimately, it's just YouTube fan fiction from the 2000s. Just super duper stretched out, you know? We have the obvious, there is an evil apprentice that needs to kill Jedi because revenge! And we got a fairly decent, combat choreography fight in the first episode, in the first literally 5 minutes of the show, and I recommend, hey, go watch it. It is well choreographed. Just don't watch anything beyond that because it ends, quite frankly, in the worst way possible, which is the Jedi gets stabbed with a knife and dies instantly. They never say this knife has any poison on it. They never say this knife has anything super special that can instantly kill Jedis or anything like that. It just killed the Jedi with a single knife. Meanwhile, we have people over in Ahsoka land, getting stabbed in the gut. People over in Obi-Wan land getting stabbed in the gut. And perfectly fine surviving without even a lick of medical treatment sometimes. But no, this knife, it instantly kills people. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. This is a huge problem. It gets even worse when later on the show, they immediately claim the twin sister of the murderer is the murderer without even a lick of evidence other than an eyewitness account that they look similar, therefore she must be the murderer. Because there's definitely not like shapeshifters in this universe. Hello? Did anyone watch the Clone Wars? No? Okay. They didn't even check records. Does she have access to a ship to leave this giant freighter that she's on? Could she even leave this freighter, get to the murder site, murder someone, and then get back to the ship without anyone noticing within the time period? Just basic detective stuff that, Mr. Monk would do. And if you do believe that she is the murderer, how and why did she do it? You gotta work that out before you bring someone to custody. But no, this is the world where we believe cops are immoral, evil, and brutally dreadful in all ways. And what do they believe Jedi are? They believe they are cops. Jedi ain't cops. They end up doing a lot of cop work, but they ain't, the intergalactic cop force. Because if they were, why the hell would they be hiring people who are literally infants in order to make sure that they're indoctrinated correctly into the Jedi Order? It's stupid. Later on the episode, the good twin, I'm going to have to refer to it as good twin because I'm not going to bother remembering names. Good twin is in a jail carrying ship with 0 human guards, only droids. Why the fuck do you have a guard ship with only droids? Beyond me, but 0 human guards, only droids, and the inmates all decide they're going to escape because they didn't get confiscated their ability to communicate with droids and they didn't restrain their ability to use tentacles through bars. It seems like a really, really bad foresight. And on top of this ship doesn't have a black box. What's a black box? A black box is ability to send all the details of how the crash occurred back to home when the crash happens. So for example, you find a crash site, you go, how the fuck did this crash happen? You find the black box. Oh, there's the recording of all the events that happened that led up to this crash, so that we can make sure this crash never happens again, or the circumstances that led to this crash ever happen again. So the inmates break out, and good Jedi is stuck on this ship, and the ship is going to crash land. Oh no, she's gonna die. Luckily, she straps herself in with some seatbelts and survives a terminal velocity crash. Now, for those of you who do not know what terminal velocity is, it is how fast an object can fall within gravity. For example, on Earth, we have 6.9 meters per second squared as our acceleration being gravity. And once you reach that acceleration rate, you have hit terminal velocity. And if you don't know how fast that is, it is ridiculously fast. Faster than trains and airplanes move on Earth. It is insanely fast. And once you're going at this terminal velocity and you're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, you need to slow down massively. Otherwise, you're going to kind of turn into jam once you hit the ground, whether you're strapped in or not. Because guess what? Just because you're strapped to an object doesn't mean it will take all the forces of the landing and you'll be perfectly fine. No, you'll still take a lot of force. This is what we refer to in crashes as whiplash. When you suddenly stop from going fast. For example, you're in 100 kilometers per hour crash, you hit, your body will keep having an inertial force going forward, but you can't go any forward, and that causes your head to go forward, and then you get whiplashed back and you have massive pain and strains on your head and your brain and everything. That's why we have airbags, so it acts like a cushion, preventing your head from hitting anything and whiplashing crazily. It reduces the speed of which your body hits. But this shuttle has none of these special techniques of airbags or shooting foam out in front of it in order to prevent it from crashing into the hardest substance on Earth, known as Earth. You would be dead. She of course survives this and has a lovely dream about her sister. Oh my god, my sister is alive. Meanwhile, we have all the incompetent Jedi cops going, where could she be? We found all the escape pods of the criminals and they said that she did it because we believe the criminals. Yep. And they find her, pull her off the ledge, and the first episode's done. So how do we feel about the first episode so far? Well, we had a great opening scene and the rest of it was gobbledygook. I'd rather watch Monk, you know? This could have been a great Monk episode. He goes up to the scene and goes, this Jedi has been clearly stabbed with a knife. So that means the person who is fighting this Jedi must have been skilled in the Jedi arts. Or at least the Sith arts, maybe. Perhaps there is another criminal around out there. Perhaps we should be investigating further afield. But we have an eyewitness account, Mr. Monk. Yes, that is strange, but there are many ways to fool eyewitness accounts in this world, such as shapeshifters, twin sisters, various other things. Jumping to a conclusion on this would be kinda stupid. But that being said, we should bring her in for questioning because she probably is connected to this crime in some way. And you would ask her and go, oh yeah, I have a sister who looks exactly like me. I can't actually use the Force. See, this is me trying to use the Force. I can't do it. I actually have lots of faith in the Jedi. Everyone knows I have faith in the Jedi. You can ask my Jedi teacher back in the day and he would go, yeah, she was an upstanding citizen. In fact, that's what he says. And so we can literally just end this plot point right here. But no, we have to drag it on into the second episode as well, where we find evil sister is fighting a Jedi who's literally asleep and is in a bubble. And she attempts to flail at this bubble. We can't see the bubble because that would require, special effects of some sort. And so she tries to kick and throw knives and nothing happens. She then leaves to go get a poison. She gets a poison, comes back and goes, I can't kill you, but you deserve to die. And the Jedi wakes up and goes, yes, you're right, I deserve to die, and dies. And I'm just going, why? Why even have this character? Why even have this perspective on this story? If you want to tell this revenge story, tell it from the revenge side. Have it be purely from the evil sister's side, all the way from the start of her story, and go chronologically through her story, and not use the Jedi Order at all. Because, quite frankly, the Jedi Order is boring compared to Evil Sister. Evil Sister sounds more interesting. We get to find out about what's going on with the Sith and everything else and what could be happening in the underbelly of the world. But no, we have to stay on the side of the Jedi for the entirety of this whole story. So the Jedi quickly realize this and do a really simple investigation, which, by the way, somehow the good sister splits off from the party, from the person who knows exactly where this master is and is leading them to the master. Yet for some reason he takes a long way around and she takes a shortcut and gets there first. Either way, they end up staking out the person who sold the poison to Evil Sister, and they go, so you know about Evil Sister. You know a lot more than you're given on. Perhaps we should, interrogate you better. Nah, we'll just let you be bait for when the Evil Sister comes back. And so they stake out, waiting for Evil Sister to return, which she does, and they spot her instantly, and they get into a scuffle. But instead of restraining her like, cops would, they let her just fight and flail ineffectively at the master, and the master gets to show off his cool skills of being a master. Whoa, you may have beat that other Jedi, but I'm the better Jedi. You can tell because I'm the good one, and she was an evil Jedi, obviously. And then, of course, she escapes because, well, they didn't restrain her. You know, when you have a suspect, you do everything in your power to restrain her. And when you have the ability to use force and literally stop a person from moving, as shown in the sequel series, he can stop blast bullets and he can stop people moving. Why didn't they do that? Even if they just, restrained her enough to get some shackles on her and then, prevented her from leaving, use hold techniques. You can literally grab someone, put them in a hold, and then they can't move and restrain them properly. No, you just let her keep flailing at you and trying to interrogate her during the fight. Because they even have a line. Oh yeah, the master is interrogating her at the moment. She's fighting him, but he's interrogating her and getting information. And then of course she escapes because, well, she wasn't restrained. How she escapes is ludicrous. She literally chucks dust up into the air when there is a spaceship above her that can see the whole field. You know what happens when you throw sand in someone's face? Yeah, it only affects the person you threw sand at. The ship above you, the helicopter above you, they can see you. And they went, yeah, she just went down that street over there. Oh, okay. Follow her down that street over there. It's not that freaking hard. But needless to say, she escapes and she comes up to a vehicle. She takes out the guy who hit her. Literally gets hit by a car, gets back up, throws the guy out of the car, goes, "This is my car now." And then good sister comes out of the shadows and says, "Stop, evil sister," and misses her shot deliberately probably. And then the evil sister escapes. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Because, good sister has to find evil sister before the two people who were actively pursuing her. This seems to happen a lot where the good sister somehow magically gets to the scene of the crime before the others. It's very peculiar and odd. And that's the end of the show. So what can I say about this show? It is kind of boring. It is fan fiction at best. It has literally no value for anyone watching it. Maybe if you're obsessed with Star Wars and you have to watch something Star Wars, absolutely, and you don't want to watch the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy or even, God forbid, the sequel trilogy or any of the other Disney Plus TV shows, well, there's this one here for you. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but it most certainly has absolutely no value of any value for anyone to watch. The choreography is fine at best. What is interesting is they didn't just go to Tatooine for the 15th billionth time. They actually went to different planets, which is a positive. But these 15 billion different planets don't have any diversity in culture or diversity in ideas. They are literally just Tatooine, but with vines, or Tatooine but different Tatooine. It's nothing interesting. What does Rich say? Star Wars is creatively bankrupt. They have no ideas, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're literally just being terrible. If you want to do a Star Wars story, don't have it be about Jedi versus Sith. Have it be about Jedi versus some other entity. I don't know, maybe you could do like the droid AI revolution warfare where all of the Jedi are fighting against the droids that have too much intelligence and they're too smart, and the government outlaws intelligent droids because they're too powerful and they're too smart, and this causes a giant droid warfare with humans. Do something interesting, choose something unique, new. Don't just do Sith v Jedi or revenge plot. Who cares about that crap? Try to be interesting. Choose a different subject to tell in the universe of Star Wars. Maybe just have it be about a trader, not a trader like a traitor, a trader as in a trader of goods, and go around, hey, I have to sell these goods so that I can get money for the church, but I have to do it slightly illegal. And then, oh no, I'm being chased by the space cops, and we have a giant space cop chase on the space highway, and the spaceships are all crashing in funny ways, a la Blues Brothers. I don't know, have some fun with it. Don't just be boring. As far as the dialogue and the acting goes, it's way better than Ahsoka. Fundamentally better, because the characters aren't pausing between every word, then having huge pregnant pauses between people talking. It's fine. I don't know. You wouldn't be horribly amiss watching this show, But if I was you, just go start watching Dark Matter instead. It is a very interesting sci-fi show that has a lot going for it, even though it suffers a lot from unintelligent characters. But the story that they're building, the worlds that they're building is very interesting, and I recommend going to watch Dark Matter over The Acolyte. It's on Apple, it's way better. Go watch it instead. See you later. Have a good one. If you enjoyed this video, if you could like it and subscribe, it will help spread the video so everyone can see this video in particular, as well as the channel grow and grow and grow. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See you later. Bye bye.